first stage, these already very serious negotiations in which the leaders of Ukraine, Europe, the United States and Canada have all become deeply and fully engaged.
The prospect of peace is on the horizon.
There can be absolutely no doubt whatsoever that certain events have indeed transpired, which
they are the foundation for the hope that this conflict might finally come to an end, and quite swiftly. But this remains merely a hope. We are still a very long way from having 100% certainty.
Peace in Ukraine may finally be within reach. That is the stunning claim now coming from Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk. After talks with NATO leaders, Tusk says negotiations could break through within weeks. But only if Ukraine makes painful territorial concessions. Speaking in Warsaw, Tusk said hope is growing, but certainty remains elusive. He stressed that this is not about months or years, but weeks. Tusk revealed what he called a key shift from Washington. The United States, he says, is willing to offer security guarantees to Kyiv. Those guarantees could include American troops stationed on the border or contact line, a move that would mark a dramatic escalation in Western involvement. Tusk said President Zelensky has shown goodwill, but any territorial compromise, he added, would likely require a referendum.
Allow me to begin with a matter that currently focuses the attention, the emotions, anxieties, and hopes of the entire world. So, the crucial matter of negotiations concerning peace in Ukraine. Discussions and various meetings are currently taking place in different formats. I have just finished a discussion with the leaders of crucial European nations. Additionally, the Prime Minister of Canada, the Prime Minister of Norway, and the heads of European institutions participated in this exchange. The NATO Secretary General was also present. We evaluated the results. This first stage, these already very serious negotiations in which the leaders of Ukraine, Europe, the United States and Canada have all become deeply and fully engaged.
The prospect of peace is on the horizon.
there can be absolutely no doubt whatsoever that certain events have indeed transpired, which
they are the foundation for the hope that this conflict might finally come to an end, and quite swiftly. But this remains merely a hope. We are still a very long way from having 100% certainty. The most crucial development of recent days is the American declaration. And this is, of course, something quite new. Some people were even surprised. The American declaration about the readiness of the United States to participate in security guarantees for Ukraine after a peace agreement, including the presence of American troops, for example, on the border or on the contact line between Ukraine and Russia. These quite unambiguous declarations have appeared for the very first time. We will see how consistent our partners from the other side of the Atlantic will be, but this certainly gives hope for... I'm talking about bringing these discussions to a successful conclusion. And by success, I simply mean the cessation of hostilities, the end of the war. From Ukraine's point of view, this obviously requires a compromise approach when it comes to territorial issues. President Zelensky is truly demonstrating very good will here. What would be necessary from his perspective, understandably, would be a referendum. The Ukrainian people would certainly have to express their consent concerning any territorial decisions. And it is quite clear that any such potential agreement must be contingent upon genuine, credible, and truly reliable security guarantees for Ukraine following the potential conclusion of a peace settlement. All of this, of course, presents a very considerable challenge for all of the individuals involved in this particular process. But as I mentioned, peace has appeared on the horizon for the very first time since the beginning of this full-scale war. I don't have to explain to anyone that for Poland this would truly be something exceptionally positive, taking into account our geographical location and the entire geopolitical context. The most important thing is that we effectively coordinate all actions in the international dimension. All the more so, it's not out of the question, because when I say that peace is on the horizon, I'm referring to the immediate weeks ahead, not the upcoming months or even years, that already in January we will collectively have to, everyone takes, and this requires the full solidarity of institutions and all Poles, for us to jointly make decisions concerning Ukraine's future, the future of this part of the world. And that's why I am absolutely open and ready for full cooperation. I am convinced that the end of the year is the ideal moment to try in these key matters not to wage futile disputes that could harm Poland. So
Times of India videos, your daily dose of India and the world. Global news, different views, and sharp analysis.
Pressure of expectation from your fans, your supporters.
That has often served as a backdrop for several Bollywood.
You're not a brute majority anymore. If you individually take out Tera.
Making sense of global conflicts. Tracking the new emerging world order.
Strike on Israeli military bases.
A multi-pronged.
To stay out of harm's way as Israel started bombing targets across.
Understanding changing alliances in a polarized world. Tune into TOI videos for all this and more. Click on the bell icon to subscribe and never miss an update.